Hello everyone, summer is in full swing, so let's talk about some summer reads. So summer read, I do these every season. I have spring reads, fall reads, Christmas reads, summer reads. Summer reads are some of my favorite reads all year because I just love reading the summer. I love reading particular genres in the summer. For that, I mean, I love a good YA contemporary in the summer, but I also love a good adult chick lit or contemporary romance that is adult. So that's what you're gonna be seeing today because those I just classify myself as summer reads. So I picked out 5 adult books and 5 YA books, so you can pick your poison. I think all of these are great summer reads. I also wanted to throw some thrillers in here, but I've only read 1 thriller so far this year. So that's sad, but I'm reading a ton right now currently, but I also think thrillers are great summer reads. I'm actually very drawn to that right now. So in case you want a thrillers video, I have some of my favorite right here. I just want to keep it current, so that's why I couldn't put any here. Anyway, oh my gosh. Let me start off with the 5 adult books that I think are great summer reads. The first one I want to talk about is The Unhoneymooners by Sheena Lauren. I mean, if this cover doesn't scream summer, I don't know what does. This is a adult contemporary romance book, and it's about a hate to love romance. A character named Olive who has a twin sister that is getting married, and Olive is the maid of honor, and she's also paired a lot with the best man who is the groom's brother, and they kind of despise each other. So basically what happens is at the reception, everybody eats this fish, this seafood, and Olive and Ethan are the only ones that don't eat it, and everyone gets sick but Olive and Ethan. So basically, bride and groom can't go on their own honeymoon because they're sick, so Olive and Ethan go in their stead. So they go to Hawaii and they have to pretend that they're newlyweds and they kind of love each other, but you can guess what happens from there. I mean, this is a quintessential summer read. It's hate to love. It's set in freaking Hawaii. It's a beautiful romance that just blooms so beautifully, but also starts out with loathing. It's beautiful. I love any Sheena Lauren book would do in summer, but this one, I'd say, out of all of their books, is definitely the most summery, and I would totally picture myself reading this at the beach with a cocktail in my hand if I haven't already read it. Next up is Maybe Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid's early stuff really resonate with me for summer reads. Her newest stuff is more historical, which I think could be summer reads, but her earlier ones are more kind of chick lit, a contemporary romance, whatever genre you want to classify it as. They're lighter reads, and this one is one of my favorites by her. This follows a character named Hannah who basically moves back home to California, and then she goes out to a bar one night, runs into her ex-boyfriend, and that's where this book gets interesting. So her ex-boyfriend asked her, hey, do you want to go home? And that's where the book takes 2 different directions. So alternating chapters, we have if Hannah would go home with her ex-boyfriend, what her life would be like with that. And the other chapters are if Hannah would not go home with her ex-boyfriend and what would her life be with that. So they're kind of interconnecting, and at the end it wraps it up beautifully, but I love the way it was told. It's such a fun, romantic, just cute read in my opinion. It's one of my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid books. I love all of her books, just to let you know, but I really think this one is a perfect summer read because it's not too serious, but it's not like too romantic. It's like that nice in the middle thing, which I like. So I think this is a great book to read. Beach, lake, travel, whatever you want to do this summer, this is here for you. Next up is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey Miss Quinston. Everybody's been raving about this book with good reason because it was amazing. This book we follow a character named Alex, and Alex kind of has a hateful relationship with the Prince of England named Henry, and basically what happens is an event happens that kind of looks like they hate each other, so they have to like have pro dates together to fake it to the press that they're friends, that there's really no animosity towards them. So this book has a lot of tropes in it. It has a hate to love to romance, it has a friends to lovers romance, and it has a secret relationship. So Alex and Henry basically become friends, and then they become something more, and they have to hide it because I should have mentioned too that Alex is the son of a female president, which is great. So basically, it's just a really adorable, sugary sweet, beautiful book about 2 guys falling in love, and it's just so sweet. There is a lot of political stuff in this book, which I don't love because I'm just not a politic person. I don't jive well with it, but Alex and Henry are just adorable. They need to be protected at all costs. I love them so dearly. So this book you can fly through. It looks big, it is big, but you're just gonna want to eat it all up because it's such a good book. It's such a good summer read. Highly recommend it for the summer. Now, if you want something a little bit steamy, Fixer Up is There For You by Tessa Bailey. I read this recently and Wow. So this book we follow a character named Georgette, who is the town clown. By that I mean that she's like the party clown for all the little kids. She's also in love with her brother's best friend named Travis. And basically Travis is a famous baseball star, and then he gets injured, so he has to move back home, and he ends up working with Georgette's family's business because they're like a flip business. Like they buy a home, they demo it, they flip it. And basically Travis gets a opportunity to have a job where he gets to be an announcer or something for baseball. It's like, I don't know what I'm talking about with sports, I don't. And to make him look more wholesome, because he's a little bit of a playboy, a bit of promiscuous, him and Georgie pretend to be in a relationship because she's just the picture of wholesome. And of course things happen, you can guess. This book, very adult, very steamy, was not expecting it. This is the year of the cute covers, but the cute but misleading covers. This is 100% smut, just so you're fully aware. I was not aware. In case you want some steamy times on the beach, this is here for you. Trust me, it will deliver on that front. Last book I want to talk about for a summer read is Say You Still Love Me by Kate Tucker. I also read this recently, and this book is told in alternating timelines where we have a character named Piper, and basically back in the day with the first timeline, she's a camp counselor. She meets a guy, I forget his name because I don't physically own this book quite yet because it's not quite out, and they fall in love. Something happens. Now years later, Piper is like heading up her dad's really big estate firm. I don't know what it is because the business me doesn't get that. But the guy that she fell in love with at camp all those years ago is now a security guard at that building. So basically they start talking again and they start reminiscing and things happen. So like I said, this book is told in two timelines. So the first one is when Piper and, I don't know his name, I am so sorry, meet, fall in love, and then flash forward to now talking about like why they haven't talked, what's happened since then, and things like that. So I did enjoy this. I didn't enjoy this as much as Kay Tucker's A Simple Wild. To me, that's more of a fall read, I personally think. That's just me. But I still think this is a great summer read because it has the camp aspect, and it's also really big romance, which I love reading this summer. And yeah, it's like a second chance romance as well. Like you see them fall in love, but you see them fall apart, and then second chance romance. But I did enjoy it nonetheless, so I would think this is a great summer read. Moving into my YA selection. So my first book I want to talk about is one I read most recently, and that is Somersault by Katrina Leno. This is a very short book, 250 pages. Follow a character named Georgina who lives on this island called By the Sea. It's a very magical island because her family actually possesses magical powers. Georgina's family, her and her twin sister and her family all have these powers, and Georgina's sister Mary can float. Their mom can like make potions. Georgina has not gotten her power yet. They're turning 18 soon, which is like the cutoff date. This is also their last summer at By the Sea because in the fall they're moving to the mainland. So it's basically all about their last summer, also about this exotic bird that comes there and all these new people that come, and Georgina meeting a girl, and it's just so beautiful. It reminds me a lot of Practical Magic. I know, hokey, but I really loved it nonetheless. It's got that magical summer vibe, so I highly recommend this. I fell in love with it. Perfect summer read with a magical twist. Won't disappoint you. Of course, I had to talk about my girl Sarah Dessen. She is my quintessential summer reads. Whenever I think of summer reads, I think of Sarah Dessen. I will always recommend Along for the Ride because it's the most beachiest one to me. And it's about this girl named Auden who goes to live with her dad in this very small beach town, and she can't sleep at night, so she meets a guy that also can't sleep at night, and they have like adventures together, and there you go. I believe Netflix is optioning this for a movie, so if you want to read it now and watch the movie later, do it. It's not going to disappoint you. I love her books. Like there's not a lot to them. You always take away something from her books, but they're YA contemporaries that are just fun to read in the summer. Also, if we're keeping on the Sarah Dessen theme, I want to talk about her newest book, The Rest of the Story, which I just recently read. I really enjoyed it. It's a great summer read. A character named Emma who goes to basically to spend the summer with her mom's mom, her grandmother, and her mom passed away years ago and her mother was an addict, so she never got to know her mom very well or her mother's family. So she goes to stay with her mother's family, and they live like on this lake, and she gets to meet all these family and cousins that she never knew she had, and childhood best friends, and it's basically about her summer of learning who her family, her mother, and her mother's family really are. And it's just beautifully written. It doesn't have a ton of romance. It's just basically a really big character development book, which I enjoyed. It reminded me of Sarah Dessen's earliest stuff, which I love, so I really enjoyed this one. And in case you're on the fence about reading her newest one because her latest two have not been the best in my opinion, I love this one. I think it was was great. A perfect summer read. I mean, it's Toad on a Lake. How much more summer can you get? Next up, Casey West. Casey West will always be in spring and summer videos because she's that author for me. Listen to Your Heart is one of my favorites, and I think a summer read. This book does take place during the school year. Every other book I share with you takes place during the summer, but I still think it's a very summery read. This book, we follow a character named Kate who goes to school and then she gets involved in like her class's podcast class. I don't know, like they have a podcast to do every single year, and Kate's actually going to be the co-anchor of it. It's like a Q&A, like they call people calling for advice. She also meets a guy and things like that. It's really sugary sweet. It's cute. There's not much to it. I think it's a great summer read. Last book I think is a great summer read is Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. Even though this cover is giving off such fall vibes, I mean, they're wearing hats and stuff, so this might be a more fallish one. I don't know, but I liked it. This book we follow a character named Birdie, and Birdie lives in Seattle, so in case you're into that whole Seattle vibe, this is a great book to read. And she gets a job at this really old historic hotel, and she's got like the night, like the really late shift, and she meets a guy and they may have hooked up already, and then they learn that there's like this mystery going on in the hotel. It's cute, it's adorable. Jen Bennett writes some amazing contemporary romance in my opinion, and I think is a quintessential summer read. So there you have it. Those are some books that I think would be great to read during these summer months. I know there's only like 2 months left, but there's still time to read all these books if you really wanted to. I'm just saying. So I would love to hear what you think are some summer read books. Are you a fan of the thrillers in the summer? Are you a fan of the fantasy in the summers? Are you like me and like contemporary and like adult chick lit contemporary romance? I would love to hear what you like to read this summer. And also, are you a seasonal reader like me? Because I am a very big seasonal reader for sure. That is me to a T, if you can't already tell by the background. But either way, would love to hear what you read during the summer. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.